This is Joe with Good Times RVing. Today I'd like to review emergency equipment and get your thoughts. Join me.
Just for once I would like to see my thoughts become reality.
Here we are riding on a section of Florida 70, a road I take, half a dozen times a year. And this section always has me thinking about emergency equipment. Should things go wrong in this section of road, there's not many places to go, and it's a fairly long section. And as you see, heavy trucks going 60, 65, 70. It makes for an interesting day. Okay, excuse the Hollywood dramatics, but let's take a look in the trunk. Okay, here's the overview of my trunk area. First up is a tire pressure gauge. This one I find to be very accurate, only good for the automobile. 0 to 60, very accurate. For the RV, I use a truck gauge. And this one is a manual gauge again, but it's good for maybe 80 to 160 pounds per square inch. Here's your basic tool roll. I have some open ends and some ratcheting box ends, typical sizes, some metric, some standard, vice grips, and a adjustable here. Basic tools, nothing special. Next up is the first aid kit. And here, this is a relatively complete first aid kit. It has bandages, some bandages here, some elastic bandage here for sprains and such, and then Band-Aids and antiseptic wipes. For all intents and purposes, if you get an abrasion or a slight cut, no big deal. Here we have a pouch that has a number of items in it. One I thought was pretty unique. We've got gloves to keep your hands warm, and then a sign here that says, help police or call police. You can hang that in your back window. It clearly indicates that you're stopped on the side of the road and you need help. But the gloves are good for when it's inclement cold. Here, nice rag for fluids, to wipe dipsticks and such. And then a reflective vest, very useful on the side of the road. Too many people walk around with dark clothing on the side of the road, you can't see them. Here's a nice reflective space blanket, I'll call it. It's nice to catch attention, and also very useful to keep yourselves warm, to keep you warm. And also it has loops that you can make a tent out of it. If you really need to camp out, you can make this out of a tent with with tie wraps. And of course, I have another poncho. We have a number of ponchos to keep ourselves out of the inclement weather, should we need it. And here in Florida, it does rain a fair amount, so chances are good you'll get wet. But here is the Volkswagen Roadside Assistance Kit, and actually it's very complete. Let's take a look inside. Here we have another reflective vest. This one's X large. Will fit me, and actually it's large enough to fit over a jacket. Quite nice should you need to be wearing a jacket, but also so important when you're on the side of the road that you have a reflective vest on, just to keep you visible. And here we have gloves with little grippy surfaces, nice when you're working on changing a tire and such. And here we have a small kit that has bandages again inside. It has a whistle. It has some tape, any number of small items that are again very useful on the side of the road, especially the tape. And here we have another poncho. Again, in Florida, you can't have enough of this stuff, and a bright color. This bright yellow will keep you visible. We have jumper cables, nice heavy-duty jumper cables, and tie wraps. We can use that for the space blanket to make a tent, should we need it. And a multi-tool. I carry one of these, a separate one, in my personal pack. But here is a nice one. Has pliers, a knife, screwdriver, Phillips head, etc. A nice little tool. And here we have an interesting item. This one is a kinetic battery flashlight. If you have I always carry a flashlight, but the batteries are at times suspect. This one, it doesn't matter. It has a little kinetic energizer. Just squeeze it a few times, and then you have enough power to power the LEDs to make a nice little flashlight. Doesn't matter how long it sits there. This one's been sitting there a year without use, but you can make yourself what they call in Europe a torch with no batteries, and it has LEDs, no bulbs to burn out. Just an excellent little tool. And here is one of, I feel, the most useful tools, is a reflective triangle. This is an extraordinarily useful tool to warn oncoming traffic. You put it 40 or 100 feet behind your vehicle. It just warns oncoming traffic to expect someone at the side of the road and to move over and give you some room. This one is particularly useful. You can stick it in the ground or lay it on the pavement. It has a bar that will keep it upright, hopefully, and just extraordinarily useful. This, again, for my car, automobile, is I find to be very useful. For the RV, I've purchased a DOT-approved kit that has 3 of these, a little more robust than this, but that's for another video. And you can pack them up. Pack this one up. It doesn't take up much space. It has this little container. You can just zip it in the container and put it in your pouch, and you're done. It's a very nice tool, and I think excellent. So pretty much that's my kit. I have an umbrella here on the side, a full-size umbrella, a pair of binoculars just in case I need to see distance. But that is the kit. I have some personal hygiene products in that blue bag for another video. But this essentially is my emergency kit. I think relatively complete, but share your opinions and what you do for your emergency kit and how often you review it and revise it. It would be very useful to me and to others. So, if you like this video, please like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Thank you.